Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we got some good old Cash Jordan. Venezuelan quote-unquote forces test border. U.S. Navy erases quote-unquote dictators Armada in 4 minutes. Oh, that's my branch. Yeah, we just keep winning. Oh, so good. Oh, the flex is so nice. Oh my god. Oh, it just feels so good. Sorry, just gotta yes. Ah, Navy power, yes. Let's go, sailors. But yeah. God damn.
Welcome back. The Pentagon continues to ratchet up pressure on Venezuela with the deployment of the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group to the southern.
They sent a fucking carrier? Oh, they're fucked. Yeah, they didn't stand a chance. They sent the they sent the thing that quite literally has the planes on it. Yeah. Planes and cannons. Let's go.
Command area, which includes Venezuela.
So, after sinking 3 cartel boats in 1 week, the United States has decided to take things up a notch. And a carrier battle group, the most feared armada of ships to bless the seas with its destructive presence, now moves towards Venezuela.
I fucking hate these planes. Hold up. I need to get this out of the way. I fucking... No, this looks like a... This literally looks like a counter UAV. Oh, God. Oh, where is it? They showed it earlier. Oh, crap. Am I going to be able to find it? If not, that's fine. Here it is. No, never mind. They're not here. But the planes that I hate are those planes that start off as helicopters, where the propellers are facing upwards towards the sky, and then it takes off like a helicopter, but then the propellers start switching in the air, and they become straight like that of a plane, so that way it flies like a plane. I fucking hate those things. Those are not walking. Those are flying death traps. They fail more times than not. They're more, but the only reason we still make them is because the US military has sunk so much money into these things that if that at this point they can't back down from it. And it's so ass.
Battle group, the most feared towards Venezuela, a hard-nosed dictatorship that refuses to turn over its criminals.
What the fuck was that? Was that his GoPro stick? Homie out here with that GoPro stick, like, yes, vlog.
To turn over its criminals while it secretly funds radical Antifa-backed mobs in America. But it now looks like all of Venezuela's mischief could end without warning.
Good.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro takes to the airwaves in English, practically begging the United States to back off.
No, why should... Fuck no. Oh, hell no. Why should we? Why should we back off? You have done nothing to stop the drug problem in your country. It's affecting our country. You still show no signs of actually doing anything to stop it. Why should we stop? There's a problem. We have a clear solution. Just because the problem happens to be coming from your side of the fence doesn't mean we can't do anything about it once it starts affecting our side of the fence. You know?
Please. Aircraft carriers, attack helicopters, long-range bombers, F-35s, Reaper drones, and we would assume special operations troops.
It comes after the U.S.
Bro, there's no way they're actually sending the SEALs, right? Bro, if they're sending the SEALs to Venezuela, they're fucked. And I don't mean this in like oh, whoops-tee, he accidentally slipped it in. Might as well continue from here kind of fucked. I mean, found in an alley covered in cum kind of fucked up next to the dumpster. just passed out from orgasms. That's how fucked they are.
Military flew 2 B-1
And I love it. I'm all for it. I voted for this. Hell yeah, let's continue. Let's keep up the pressure.
bombers near
Let's ensure that Venezuela is the prime example of why, if America tells you, do something about your fucking cartel problem and your drug problem, or else we will, should be taken as a very, very serious warning. You know? Shouldn't be taken with a grain of salt. Shouldn't be some like, come on, America's a pushover. No, we should essentially ensure that any time anyone thinks about doing what the cartels did, they remember, shit, remember what happened to Venezuela when they started fucking up? Now, we don't want that happening in our country. We'll actually ring it in. We'll stop it. We'll put a stop to it. We don't want America getting involved. Like, I swear to God, sometimes other countries forget that we're quite literally the country that Germany didn't want getting involved, actively involved in during World War II, and the only reason we got involved was because Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. So we had to retaliate, and then we dropped the sun on them twice, and then they behaved after that. So it's like, I feel like countries forget that we're the country that dropped the sun on Japan twice.
the coast of Venezuela yesterday, according to a defense official.
Everybody knows Maduro is the head of the biggest cartel of the Suns, also the head of the Tren de Aragua, a criminal network that has committed crimes in the U.S.,
yeah,
Canada,
fuck them all, send them back
to Argentina and Chile. It's all run by Maduro.
14% of the Navy's fleet is now in the Caribbean, including a buildup of 10,000 Marines and sailors, a dozen warships, a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, a special operations mothership with drone capabilities, 3 guided missile destroyers, and the USS Iwo Jima.
But let's be honest, you do not need aircraft carriers to do this. So what is really going on with the USS?
This is an intimidation tactic. This is exactly what it is, and it's working exactly how Trump wants it to work. This is an intimidation tactic because Venezuela, like 2-3 weeks ago, was like, "Oh, America, we don't got to worry about America. Shit, look at it. We're literally gonna train our troops just in case a war breaks out." So Trump was like, I'm gonna send you 0.5% of what our military power is actually capable of, and he sent this, and now Venezuela's president is like, "No, please, sorry, we fucked up. We don't want to sit at the grown-ups table anymore. Well, I think we want to go back to the kids table." And Trump is like, nah, you wanted to act like adult, now you're gonna get treated like one. You're gonna get put in your place, boy.
Gerald R. Ford.
You know, the land is going to be next, and we may go to the Senate, we may go to the Congress and tell them about it.
he's like, we won't even ask for permission. We'll just land troops, and if I'm feeling up to it, I'll let the other government, the other 2 heads of government know. I'll let the Senate and Congress know if I'm up for, if it's truly that important that they need to know about this. I love him so much. When he's doing great things like this, I love him so much. When he's fucking over our country, I'm like, bro, why?
So as Venezuela begs for peace, they're busy funding less than peaceful protests, riots actually, here in America. And what nobody's talking about is the war on prosperity and law and order. It's got a new combatant, which just so happens to be the same combatant sending illegal immigrants and gang members through our southern border even today. Not for purposes of improving America at all, like we've been told by progressives, but instead to further the reach of an allegedly—
God damn, look at all these fathers here being sent back to their country. Don't these ICE agents know that they came here for a better future? Don't look at the fact that they're drug dealers, gang members, murderers and rapists alike. No, let's not focus on that. They're fathers first and foremost, trying to come here for a better life. Get the fuck out of here.
A corrupt criminal empire run by a cartel commandeered country, which only knows how to inflict.
Like, bro, they don't care. You can see it when they're literally being loaded onto the plane. They don't care. They're acting like they're gonna be back again here tomorrow, which is what sucks. Which is why I'm all for Trump landing troops on land and be like, you know what? Time for Venezuela to become the 51st state of America, state of the U.S., I think. You know?
Communism upon its impoverished population.
Make it shit. God, I hate when it doesn't pause. Make it a territory. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. They feel no sympathy. But yeah, make it a territory like Puerto Rico. Venezuela, the American territory.
It only knows how to inflict communism upon its impoverished population while it steals from them. But things are changing. Not only is the U.S. ramping up efforts to stop boats of criminals from Venezuela headed towards America, but a carrier battle group is also moving just off Venezuela's shores, which spells the beginning of the end for Venezuela's beleaguered military. A force so depleted, they're now forced to conscript as many of their citizens as possible.
What the fuck is he doing? I'm sorry, but if they're flying overhead, well, first and foremost, it's probably a little too late for you to do anything once the planes are overhead. You know, so you shooting at them isn't going to do anything. This isn't World War II where the planes are very slow and whatnot. And even then, they're still pretty fast. I say slow compared to like our modern day jets and whatnot, you know, the kind that can break the sound barrier. But it's like, what are they gonna do with it? Like, what is this stance as well? Like, he just looks so goofy. Like, and the reason he looks goofy is because these are civilians in civilian clothing trying to look tactical and intimidating, and it just don't work. It don't work when Grandpa over here has the AK, and he honestly has zero clue what he's doing. He's like, I'm just here because they told me to be here.
Asking them to circle up and defend their dear leader who refuses to step down from his cartel, or to stop supporting gangs like Tren de Aragua, who've already flooded America with their operatives. Which brings us to the real reason a carrier battle group is now headed to the Caribbean. It's part of a mission to dismantle these international criminal organizations that refuse to dismantle themselves.
Good. My question is, when do we go after the one in Mexico next?
And what most people don't understand is the more force you apply to a conflict like this, the less chaotic it will become. Now, of course, a carrier battle group could wipe.
Oh my god, dude. No, it's crazy. On the carrier, this wire that's right here that catches the plane, my mom, when she was in the Navy, was in charge of grabbing that cable, and while the plane was lining up for a landing, running from one side of the carrier to the other to hook it up, so that way when it latches on, it actually stops the plane. That was my mom's job in the Navy. Yeah, it's wild time. Now it's automated, which thank God. Something like that should have been automated from the start. I don't think we should have enlisted running from one side of the carrier to the other while one of our jets is trying to land.
Conflict like this, the less chaotic it will become. Now, of course, a carrier battle group could wipe out Venezuela's entire military with the press of a button. But even without firing a shot, the carriers, their ships, aircraft, and sensors will greatly enhance the U.S.'s ability.
Oh, look, there they go. There they go, taking off running.
To detect threats and launch precision strikes against criminal militants with zero collateral damage, while keeping Venezuela's outdated Soviet-era Air Force
I was like, at first I was like, why the fuck is it painted from the top? But then I was like, no, that actually makes sense, because if you're flying the jet at low altitude, the plane at low altitude, to try to blend in with the greenery at the bottom, because an enemy aircraft is up top, it would make sense that you would camouflage the top, especially, and if you have like a base that's like somewhere in the woods, you know, you'd probably also want it colored like this, so that way when it's parked in the runway, it blends in with the foliage. I mean, it probably won't blend in as well as you think it might, because obviously the base is just one giant, you know, circle of concrete surrounded by forest. So it's like it wouldn't really work. But when it's flying overhead, it does. So yeah, I was about to be like, why the fuck? But I realized, I was like, wait a minute, no, that actually makes sense.
At bay. But as scared as Venezuela may be, they're putting on a very different show for the folks watching back home.
Específicamente para este ejercicio de Independencia 200 para la defensa de la costa.
Bolivariana, en estos 9 estados, en estos 73 puntos.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a deterrent that video and that technology we just saw will be to the greatest military ever, which must mean,
again, largest air force in the world, second largest air force in the world. I just wanted to point that out. We have the largest air force in the entire planet and the second largest air force in the entire planet. We take spot number 1 and 2. Like, bro, we're sending baby Air Force after you. We're sending the Navy. And although it pains me to diss on my own branch like that, at the end of the day, the second largest Air Force that America has is the United States Navy. So it's like our Air Force functions as the Air Force, and our Navy, if need be, could function as the Air Force. So it's like, how? And that's just 2 branches. We're not including the Marines and the Army. So it's like, bro.
Propaganda like this is aimed at Venezuela's own populace, who are now being encouraged to defend their homeland and make sure Maduro stays in power, which sadly means protecting a communist regime that only seeks to further enslave and impoverish them. But the United States is also doing a little saber rattling of its own. Okay, you see this right here? This is the flight path of a B-1 bomber that headed towards Venezuela and then turned around at the last minute. But look at this, here's another flight path of the same aircraft which flew right along Venezuela's coast. But the US didn't just fly any old aircraft near Venezuela. Oh no, they—
Look at this thing. It literally looks like a counter UAV from COD. It's so goofy. like, is it, I think it's the Black Ops 2 one. Hold up. Let's see. BO2 counter UAV images. No, it's not Black Ops 2. What? I know there's one Call of Duty where the— oh, fuck. Oh, it was Black Ops 3. Yeah. Black Ops 3 was the one where it looked like this. We're at the circle. Let's see. Yeah, Black Ops 3. Yeah, the counter UAV. Like, bro, but like, I was still right. It looks like a counter UAV.
They flew the nuclear-capable B-1 bomber in pairs, and this choice of aircraft should scare the daylights out of any criminals in Venezuela, because this aircraft has a very specific purpose and was designed to fly extremely fast at both high and low altitude, making it the perfect choice to deliver a precision strike so quickly Tren de Aragua won't know.
Oh my god, I'm just grinning so hard. I'm like, oh, I'm giddy when he's talking about our planes. I'm like, ooh, yes. I'm like, yeah, oh my god, look at that sexy beast. Bro. The only thing that compares is the crap. Let me see. Let's see, what is it? Oh crap. The AC-130. Yeah, the Angel of Death. I don't know why I thought it was the Wings of Death. The Angel of Death, the AC-130. It's the only thing that comes to being as beautiful as that. Because my God, when that thing lets loose, holy shit, does it look pretty. AC-130 inbound.
So what happened until God shows him the instant replay? But as you're about to see, experts think there might be even more going on here than meets the eye.
Force and blowing up boats. What do we start seeing that indicates there?
Bro, he brought up blowing up boats, and that reminded me of a clip I saw on Instagram of our service members in the Navy. And they were on a boat, and they loaded up one of it looked like a motor, and they loaded it up. They shot it, and then it just went and blew up a boat. And I was just like, fuck yeah, America. When I saw that, I was like, attaboy. Like, get them, boys.
A war that might start.
Well, I don't think Trump has hidden from the fact that he wants a regime change in Venezuela. This is a huge show of force, and let's remember who President Trump is. If he's going to do something, he's going to do it large. Do I think there's going to be a full-scale invasion? Absolutely not. But I do.
God damn, just look at this. Military buildup near Venezuela. Let's see. Amphibious assault ship, the USS Iwo Jima. You got 3 guided missile destroyers, the USS Stockdale, Gravely, and Jason Dunna. Jason Dunna? Okay. You got 2 amphibious transport docks, the San Antonio and the Fort Lauderdale. You got an attack submarine with the Newport News. You got the MQ-9 Reaper drones, the support aircraft, which is the V-2 Osprey, the spy plane, which is the P-88 Poseidon. Then you have helicopters, which are on board the cruiser, not the cruiser. Yeah, the cruiser. And you have another guided missile. Not the cruiser, dumbass, the carrier. Although, yeah, a helicopter could also land on the cruiser if need be. You know, at least one aircraft fits on every single one of these small ships. 10,000 troops, along with the littoral combat ships, the Wichita and the Minneapolis St. Paul. Bro. Homie's like building up that Space Marines 2 final battle. Hold the line squad right now. 3K point team, guys.
I want to bring something into picture here is we need to remember we've been at war with the cartels.
Right. So the United States is the battleground where this whole war with these cartels and their foreign combatants who come into our country illegally and bring illegal immigrants with them began. And when you see ships headed to cartel-controlled countries or territories, as you just heard, we finally have a president who's willing to take the fight to our enemies. And the thing is, these cartels are only able to exploit America because they've never had any threats at home. They live in countries where they are protected. That's what's given them the ability to make plans to come into America without permission. So their gang members and operatives can make money on the backs of our law-abiding citizens and
Get him. Like, bro, I voted for this. Arrest that goddamn fucking illegal man. Kick him out of here. Selling drugs on my street corner. We only sell American-made drugs, aka pharmaceuticals, legally.
Unfortunately, the illegal immigrants they bring into America only to exploit once they're here. But there's more to it than that. The Washington Examiner has a piece on how Venezuela, under its former leader Hugo Chavez, began connecting with left-field hate groups to fund anti-American civil unrest. And if this is correct, it means a cartel-controlled country is funneling money to Antifa-linked groups in.
Yeah, my question is, what happens once these cartels disappear, or once these cartels can't afford to send money to these groups? Then what? I guess it'll become another situation like USA Aid, and how we had all these protests here in LA. Then all of a sudden, when the funding stopped, all of a sudden, and mysteriously out of nowhere, the next day, all the protesters were gone. Coincidentally, you cut the funding, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the protesters are gone. Interesting. It's almost like they never truly cared.
Side the United States, which means that Venezuela has secretly been harming America in ways most of us have never even.
Yeah, and if Antifa becomes a fully viewed terrorist organization by all facets of the government, then essentially Venezuela could be charged with aiding and abetting a terrorist organization on American soil.
Considered.
14% of the Navy's fleet is now in the Caribbean, according to IEJ Media, including a.
All right. So I was off. I was off by quite a bit. That 14% is what she said. Goddamn, of our Navy. Sheesh. Like, fuck, 14 only? Nah, 14% of our Navy is a lot, though, I will say. It is a lot, but it really shows Venezuela that we're not fucking around, and that they need to clean up their shit, or the troops are gonna land, and we're gonna clean shit up. You know? Because, like, Trump keeps saying, is like, we don't want a regime change, we just want them to stop fucking sending the cartels, and allowing the cartels to send their drugs over to America. That's all we're asking for. And Venezuela's like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And so America's like, okay, then all right. You want to play that game? We can play this game of chicken.
Percent of the Navy's fleet is now in the Caribbean, according to IEJ Media.
Damn.
Including
14% of our fleet in the Caribbean. Honestly, send them. Full send it, I say.
Buildup of 10,000 Marines and sailors, a dozen warships, a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, a special
10,000. So they send. So is it a total of 20,000? Or is it a combined total of 10,000? At the end of the day, it's nice to see, the United States Department of the Navy interacting with its little sister, the United States Department of the Navy, U.S. Marines. At the end of the day, I'm glad that the Navy's interacting with the Women's Department of the Navy. But still, 10,000. I'm hoping that's 10,000 of each, genuinely. Although we saw it was 10,000 in the graph, it might be a combined total of 10,000, but honestly, I'm hoping it's 20,000. Send more. Let the Marines go in and have their fun, man.
operations mothership with drone capabilities, 3 guided missile destroyers, and the USS Iwo Jima.
Okay, yeah, that's an Armada, all right. In fact, I think this Armada includes everything in the kitchen sink. And 10,000 Marines! I mean, that is...
Marines and sailors, correction, good sir.
No joke. Are they gonna invade?
Goes to medical for back pain, does 4 years. At the end of discharge, sorry, your back pain wasn't related to any injuries in service. Meanwhile, carrying 1, 2, 3, from the looks of it, rucksacks, along with a vest which has plates, as well as the gun. Like, bro, we're sorry, sir, but your back pain doesn't appear to be service related, my left nutsack.
Oh, are they gonna invade? The president has fainted as if there could be some land component to all of this. But regardless, this spells terrible news for Venezuela's criminals who've only got the ability to invade America, harm it, fund those who destabilize it, precisely because their home base is far from America's border and has remained for decades a location where they could marshal their forces, make evil plans, while remaining off limits to the United States and various law enforcement groups tasked with stopping these guys. But a carrier battle group parked right on their doorstep, that totally changes what's possible here in the near future.
10 F-35s have been based in Puerto Rico since September 13th. The focus appears to be disputed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, and now
they fatten his ass up for this one because he looked so much skinnier. Why does it look like he has like a fat filter on? Is he actually this fat? Like, bro, the clips of all the other all the other clips where it showed the people walking or like standing in line outside like banks and whatnot, they were all like skinny as shit. I'm hoping this is just an edit. Like, look at it. Yeah, right here, look, all these people skinny as fuck. Obviously, you can only see like 3 there, but still. Like, god damn, dude. I hope this is edited.
This appears to be disputed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, and now Colombia's president Gustavo Petro.
A lunatic who's got a lot of problems, mental problems.
President Petro called President Trump rude and ignorant.
Humanity has a first option to change Trump.
He's rude and ignorant. Okay, why would he give 2 shits if you consider him rude and ignorant? Why does he care? Your country's fucking over ours. Why do we care if you think our president's rude and ignorant? Why would we care?
If not, remove Trump.
Okay, so now the whole picture here starts to come into view. This isn't just about Venezuela, it's also about Venezuela and its neighbor Colombia, who apparently helps support criminal organizations that may be transiting the 2 countries, some of whom are headquartered in Venezuela itself, and both.
All right. I guess Trump knows which country to stop by next once he's done with Venezuela. Their little neighbor Colombia. Oh man, that'd be so funny, man. Fuck the goddamn Colombians, man. Teach them a lesson.
These leaders are incredibly hostile towards our country for some reason. And it's not hard to see why. First of all, you've got gangs that are making lots of money and control politicians all throughout South America, which is part of the equation. But the other part of this equation is that these countries have a financial incentive to encourage people who would otherwise be dependent upon state welfare to cross the border and make their way to U.S. sanctuary cities, where people can get free health.
Back. I don't give a damn if they come here with kids. Send them back. We don't gotta separate families. Send them back together. You know, fuck it. Like, it's so dumb. It always baffles me how it's like, oh, America tries to get rid of, you know, birthright citizenship. And everyone's in uproar. Oh my god, that's so bad. But then you have other countries that don't have birthright citizenship at all, and no one bats an eye about those or petitions to have those countries instill birthright citizenship whatsoever. So at the end of the day, it's always the same argument with these people. America bad in this instance. No, America all bad no matter what it does. But if other country does the exact same thing, let's not criticize that country. Because like I said, America criticized for securing its southern border. Mexico secures its southern border. No criticism whatsoever. Like I said, America, birthright citizenship, ending it. Japan doesn't have birthright citizenship at all. No one's batting an eye in Japan to, you know, add birthright citizenship to their laws. So it's like, who cares what these people think at the end of the day? Because they'll only cry because they have nothing better to do with their time.
Healthcare, free money for an apartment, instead of living impoverished lives in countries that deliberately create poverty through their corrupt
Like, look at this. Look how skinny these individuals look. Holy shit, man. You can see the veins on their arms, dude. That's insane.
Socialist policies. Not to mention, countries like Mexico receive approximately $60 billion in remittances from people in the United States sending money back home. This is a massive boost to their economy. And that money goes even further and helps provide for people in Mexico instead of the government of Mexico having to provide and care for its own citizens, while creating an economy free from corruption and cartels and
which is why, in my opinion, it's stupid as shit to allow these illegals in. Like, if you, or not even allow them in, allowing them to stay. Because they don't benefit our economy. They benefit the economy of the country they came from. Because that's where they're sending all their money to. They're not helping our economy thrive. They're helping another country's economy thrive. And if that's the case, then why should we even entertain the idea of you being here, even if it is legally? It's like, if you're coming here, and even if you do come here legally, if you come here and you don't actually, you know, help better our country and better our country's economy, and you're instead helping another country's economy thrive, then, in my opinion, you shouldn't be allowed here. You should be sent back. Because what's the point in having you here if you're not going to benefit America? You know?
criminals that allows people to benefit themselves and pull themselves up out of poverty. None of these countries are great at doing that, especially Venezuela. So there's a major economic benefit from a wide open US border, and it makes sense that various countries in South America would be upset with a president who comes in and decides to close the border completely, but that's not all.
Cartel strategy, hearing you talk about it as a war, hearing Secretary Hegseth talk about defeating and destroying and the comparisons to ISIS and Al-Qaeda, those efforts took American troops being engaged in foreign countries. Do you think that's ultimately where this is headed with the cartels, having American troops in countries like Venezuela?
No, the cartels are very bad. They have a lot of bad people coming in. They were interviewed recently, and they were asking people what their problem was, and one guy said, "Yes, I'm up for murder." Didn't know what he was saying, obviously. You know, I'm sure his lawyer was not thrilled with his statement, but no, they're rough people coming into those cartels. Those cartels are rough. You look at what happens, the trip up is horrible.
Right. So you've got to balance the fact, this idea of troops possibly heading to Venezuela, with the reality that enemy combatants, cartels, gang members, and funded groups that wish to destroy America are already in our country and are sponsored by these regimes like Venezuela. And obviously the president can't tell.
And at some point, our own government, which kind of sucks, you know. Kind of sucks that we have our own government sometimes working against us when it comes to these issues. You know, it's like, why are you putting not only the will, but the safety as well of the American people on the afterburner? Not even that. You're like, you're letting it drown harder than the Titanic. Like, bro, it's insane. And I know that analogy doesn't make sense because an object can't drown, but at the same time, you have women drowning, so gotcha. But yeah, it's like we have our own government working against us to ensure that the American people are safe. If that's the case, why the fuck do we have you people in government?
tell reporters what his real plan is here. It's got to keep people guessing. And that's exactly what this show of force does. It is a visual representation of what America could decide to do in the near future. It also keeps the seven seas safe because these criminals on their boats trying to sneak into our country can no longer do so without getting stopped. And if you want to shut down a criminal country, you got to shut down their ability to come across the U.S. border and infiltrate our country and exploit people once they're here.
And we're doing the world a big service by just telling them, you don't have too many cartels now because they know when they get up here, they're going to be stopped. Under Biden, they were just flowing into the country. It didn't matter what you were, where you came from, what you looked like, what your record. They didn't check records. Millions of people came into this country that should not be in our country right now. We've gotten a lot of them out. It's the single biggest problem that we were given. Inflation, I've already taken.
Bro, all I'm going to say is, if we hadn't dealt with Osama during Obama, and Osama was allowed to run rampant during Obama and Trump, and then got to Biden, our country would have been fucked under Biden. If Osama was still a threat and ISIS, because they would have been able to sneak in so many more people into the country under Biden, and it would have been so fucking terrifying, not gonna lie. Just thinking about that, holy shit, dude. Thank God, some of these terrorist regimes were stopped when they were, because goddamn, they would have annihilated this country during the 4 years of Biden.
So this is where perspective is everything. If you don't think the wide open border was a bad thing for America, if you're somebody that believes that untold numbers of people from anywhere should just be able to come into America and no one should go through any kind of background check, well, if you believe that, all of this military action near Venezuela, of course you're going to be against it. But if you realize that the open border was used by criminals to advance their operations inside of our country, this was used by corrupt regimes to dig in their heels and grow their evil empires. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. And yes, Colombia's against this, Venezuela's against this, but there's another.
You know what I say? If you want to go the humanitarian route and you don't want to take lives, you could just start hosing these animals down at the border and they'll immediately stop trying to jump the fence. Just saying. Just get a hose and just spray and pray the water, man. And I know some people will be like, oh, fire hoses have evolved. They're stronger now. They could do more damage. You know what that sounds like to me? An even stronger deterrent then. Because I doubt you'll want to break a leg getting splashed with some water trying to jump a fence. Would you? And if you do somehow make it to the top, you're probably going to break your leg on the way down because now you're covered in water and you're all slippery. Which, guess what? That just makes it easier to tame you, give you a quick Band-Aid slap up, and then send your ass back so that way the hospitals in whatever country you came from can help you out. Seems like an easy solution if you don't want to go the lethal route.
Our neighbor over there, Guyana, who's on the other side of Venezuela, and they've been threatened from Venezuela with invasion for a few years now. Venezuela's a big problem in South America, and this is by no means something that the entire continent is against. The president's right. We are doing the world a favor by getting rid of criminals. Countries in South America
fucking happy face
will
mask.
Be safer when these cartels and gangs stop operating and disband themselves. That's the fastest way for this all to end, is for these criminals to stand down and turn themselves in. I don't think they're going to do it. And if you're a criminal, what's your goal? It's to stay in business and commit as much crime as you possibly can until something stops you. Like a closed U.S. border, or like a massive amount of military intervention that shuts down your criminals before they leave your shore. And all of this stalling that we're seeing by the Venezuelan government, all this rallying of the local populace, it could be designed to let this regime hang on for as long as possible until the leader decides to pack up shop and flee after the entire place collapses. And while
He's gonna pull an inverse Germany and go and run away to Germany. No, I said that wrong. He's gonna pull an inverse Hitler and run away to Germany. That's what I meant to say. Instead of the German running to South America, now you're gonna have the South American running to Germany. Oh, sorry, the Austrian, I guess.
Their leader is on the television calling for peace. He's rallying the populace. I don't think he's got any intention of going anywhere. And I think that a lot of what we're seeing on the television is purely political. It's designed to drum up support for a small country that's being bullied by evil America. And, oh, we haven't done anything wrong. Meanwhile, the opposition leader that just won the Nobel Peace Prize and dedicated it to President Trump is on Fox News explaining how the leader of Venezuela is the leader of a cartel and Tren de Aragua. What do you think about that? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.
You are not ready for Monster House? Bro, Monster House is a cult classic, okay? It is peak stupidity. But yeah, all in all, I still think it's a good thing. I think that it is great that he's you know, doing, or not doing, but putting, or what's the phrase I'm looking for? He's crap. He's not stoking the flames. He's not doing that. He's oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. He's doing a display of power. He's showing that, you know, at any given moment he could essentially press a button, pick up a phone, and our troops would already be in Venezuela and would have already conquered them. Not conquer them, taken over and whatnot, because, you know, we're not trying to conquer Venezuela and like take over the country or anything. We quite literally at the end of the day just want the cartels to stop sending their drugs to America. That's it. That's all we want, but they don't want to stop that, so we have to get involved. So at the end of the day, you know, if they don't want to stop and we have to get involved, then we should get involved. It's stupid to say that we shouldn't. But yeah, those are my 2 cents. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. Remember to believe nothing, question everything, and always seek the deeper truth, or else you'll end up looking like a pretty interesting individual when you're like, oh, Venezuela's like asking America to stop, and then your friend's like, yeah, no, they're not. They're still training their troops. So yeah, remember, be safe out there. Be careful. You never know what can happen. You never know what lunatics are out there. And I'll catch y'all in the next one later.